And the whole entire point is to ground into me, so I believe in my own faith in myself, my own ability to like navigate difficult situations, and my ability to like literally have enough intuition to see my way through the next likely event. Like that's literally the thing that happens for me. Is that my life opens up with this ease. Like normally, this is a very unusual time because I'm doing an unusual thing. I'm on a call right now. But usually I would know exactly the moment my husband's about to walk through the door. Like literally within 2 or 3 minutes, usually I start moving myself to another situation so that I can be like, and I'm not like getting ready for him. It's just that I have to like I just like I let go. Oh, it's music is about rhythm, and you understand rhythm, you understand the world, the universe, everything. It's that easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. You can make a song by simply keeping the beat. And see how quick it is to reset my stress cycle? You do it like this. You confess, you allow it, all of the pain to come through you, and then you do it. You create something with it. You listen and you find the rhythm, and then you give him a place to be safely contained, baby. Then you'll see as much as me. And this is the next thing. Be aware of not forgetting what you were getting. You were getting something to help you be upset. So if you need to go after you give yourself a sweet shot, make sure you go slow. But don't forget to go. This is slowing, and I will be doing all the nothing that I need to. Music is about rhythm, and you understand rhythm, you understand the world, the universe, everything. It's that easy. It's so easy. You can. It's so easy. You can make a song by keeping. It's not what it is to reset my stress cycle. You do it like this. You confess what lies This is why I was sent for you.
Celeste, can I pick you up?
Thanks, man, to find out what
Thank
you
you.
for me too. Music is about rhythm, and if you understand rhythm, you understand the world, the universe, everything.
So what? You're so sweet.
Let's see. Mm-mm. 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 Look at him. Nice. Celeste is ready to run. Okay, she wants to be over there. This computer. Alright, here he is. Nothing else to be done. So. Hi, Celeste. Bye, Celeste. Okay. Who's that with experience on this side of the room? That's a good question. A little bit of sunshine. Don't exactly like. Excuse me, that angle is good. Here's what's this different. Let's see. I suppose my client is calling to me. Interesting. That does sound absolutely true. So. I don't like that idea. I need the sky to clear up because this is just not vivacious. It is not fantastic. It is not how you say geoelastic. I just make that up. Oh, damn, it's two. Oh, man. Okay. Hey, Celeste. Scare my bearings. I don't like how dark it is outside. It makes me feel terrible. So let's find something else to do. That would help you feel better. Okay. Somatic workout sometimes is necessary. Okay. I need to start cleaning. I can't leave this way any longer. I'm going to call this series How to Make It Better. And I'm going to do as many lives for myself as I can. It's a lot of flies. And do as many lives as I can for myself. Wherein I simply practice what I preach. I simply clean my house, take care of myself, do my somatic workouts, do my readings, answer phone calls that I don't want to answer, engage with my inner child, and manage, not tame, manage and understand the intricacies of my anxiety and the reasons why they are as they are. My anxiety is a they. She, they. Okay. Also, I want to begin to hone my arsenal of tools for language development. So, like, I want like a word bank of like, here's some media to watch before you come to me talking about your feelings, and or like find some media that you enjoy, tell me to watch it or something, and then tell me how it relates to your feelings. Yes, that feels definitely helpful. I really want to make sure I put that somewhere else too. Guess I'm gonna have to review this one. Celestial, you see all those damn flies? We're gonna get them, bro. They're fighting. Fucking. I'm trying to do some music, but I don't know how to do music on fucking YouTube Live without feeling like they're gonna copyright me. They're gonna mute my damn video. Ooh, 3. Come here, bitches. We catch up. lights. This is how I want to teach my course. I want really private, like, recordings of people processing their raw emotions, and I want them to experience absolute confidential, meaning like that's not the word that means very much to me, but like absolute safe containment. Like your mom is supposed to be like, when you become a parent, when you are human gestating a human, you say, oh, I am going to do everything at all costs to make sure that this person is safe. That kind of safe containment, that is what I will offer to people, with the awareness of like there are many, many ways to get to that kind of safety, that kind of safe containment that doesn't require silence. Because I want to teach people how to talk through what they're going through. I do need a microphone. Okay. Um, what was the other thing I was trying to say? Gross. See, I don't particularly like this too, because it makes sport of killing something. That's gross. And the other thing that it does that you don't consider is it leaves a fucking graveyard of flies in your house. That's disgusting. It's like you're dealing with the fact that there's flies in your house, which you don't want. Then, even if you kill them, you got a fly graveyard. Never good. Well, I never tried tennis, but I bet I'd be good. I don't really want to do tennis, so I don't want to know if I would be good, to be honest with you. Let's see. Guess. Throwing flies when you're killing flies. Alright, what are our plans for today? I'd like to do nails. Which does require some so we do. Right. Next thing. Alright. My center provides resources and tools to successfully survive and heal from trauma, colonialism, and white supremacy. My center. You're gonna knock my computer over, gal. Oh my goodness gracious. Hello, Mr. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The tools and opportunity to examine, deconstruct, and create something new from the ashes of the old ways. And create something new. This is what we're trying to do. Sometimes we just okay. This is something to start with. Okay, so ooh! Oh my goodness. Y'all are kind of doing the most, you know.
Hey, Celeste, what you doing? All right.
Like, I just be trying to be a regular person in the universe. And I do want it to be on record that I become aware of problems and then I start having to like do acrobatics mentally to figure out how I could eliminate that problem for the rest of the universe. Cause I can't countenance it. I cannot bear it. If it causes even this level of inconvenience for me, I can't imagine how devastating it might be for somebody who really needs the thing. So, for example, what I want to do is teach people and myself too how to get undepressed, how to get through the shit that most hurts you, how to self soothe, and how to do that in a way that doesn't kill you, and how to do that in such a way that it like you enable yourself to do the self determining thing you want to do. And the thing is, the ways to it, in fact, are pleasure and learning and experimentation. And we have a lot of laws and rules and structures that bar that kind of exploration. And they are ostensibly for safety and protection and honoring certain parts of the population. But the creation of those rules and laws happened at a time when the values and concepts of people did not extend to all the people in existence in the population. So, and that has happened time and time and time again, that we have had a, and this should sound familiar to anybody who knows anything about American politics, we have less and less representation and higher taxation. We have people who are meant to represent us, but who do not know what our lives are like in a practical sense. That means ultimately, like, oh shit, I was about to go down a politics rant and I don't want to. Oh, damn, I forgot. that pump my brakes because I didn't want to talk about that for much longer. Well, I did, just not in that format. Okay. Anyway. The thing I want to talk about is how there are rules and laws and structures around how we exist within society that, in fact, prevent us from being able to make our own decisions for our own well being because there are cultural norms that bar us from certain kinds of choices. So we could never even access maybe the thing that might most help us because somebody else's thought about what is right and wrong and what is valuable in the universe means that they gate kept the thing you needed and you never even knew the thing that you needed existed. For example, cannabis, I've been experimenting with for many years now. It is actually the thing across my whole life. I have had a lot of, at many times, crippling anxiety, especially after the death of my mother. And the point at which my anxiety actually began to be something I could work with, I could say, hey, what's going on? The point at which I was able to name my anxiety as my inner child instead of simply this boogeyman, this monster I had to fight against every day because it kept me from being who I wanted to be. The point at which I started to take edibles and experiment with cannabis, I began to understand that there was me, adult Jazza, and then there was me, anxious Jazza, who was usually younger and feeling less safe. And when I began to have that experience with myself, which is important, it's important the order in which I did the things that I did because I chose not to do experimentations with drugs and things in my life earlier on, out of fear, of course. But I chose not to do those things. Then I went and I did a lot of information gathering before when I was like, well, after my mom died, then I got into a different period in my life. I became a different part of myself because that's what happened. I literally became an adult chemically inside my brain because my parent no longer is alive. And the process of mothering myself became so much easier when I could see myself in two-ness, when I could say, this is me, this pain, this heart, whatever is happening right now, the feelings is me. It's just not the whole of me. And when I could sit and say, what is that? Like when I felt my heart beating really fast because I was going on a ride with the edible, I'd be like, hey, we're just in the car, right? Like nothing novel is happening. And that's how I actually began to engage with my stress cycle because then I began to say, hey, there's an incongruity between what my brain and my body seem to think is going on and what I can see around me. That helped me to really teach my actual self and soul and brain and autonomic system and parasympathetic system how to recognize when I was in a state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, which is a state of arousal. That helped me to realize when I was in a state of arousal that did not match the situation I was in. That is what happened because I did experience anxiety while high, and I taught myself to recognize what exactly that anxiety meant. And it meant that I needed to take some deep breaths. It didn't mean that I was having a psychological breakdown. It meant my heart's beating fast and maybe there are a lot of sounds, so I feel overstimulated. So I began to actually have a sensory experience of my body that was even more acute than what I already had, which was already pretty sensitive. I say all this to say fear is a component of ourselves, of our darkness, of our chaos, of the hidden and the unseen of our lives that we need to dance with in order to understand what information it's trying to tell us. But it is not the rule. Fear does not rule what you should do. It's just information that's trying to tell you about your concerns, about some needs you may not be able to be perceiving at that time, and about fear in a world and a society structured as the one we are living in. Wherein, ooh, starting to forget the thing I wanted to say. Ooh, it's because I'm getting chilly. Fear, the way it's been used, the way it is used inside of our society, causes us to engage with it in such a way that we follow fear, and not in a creative fashion, not in a way so that we unpack and get done with the fear. It's so that we maintain fear. And that's how things are structured. That's how values are structured in our society currently. And historically, as a result of all the exploitation based systems that were born, and the advent of slavery. The idea of servitude without equal exchange of respect and value degrades both them and you. And that's what we have yet to work through as human beings. It is fundamentally how people engage with God. Because either God is all powerful and we are so small, or God doesn't exist. Because if you're as powerful as God, you have to begin to contend with what power is and what you even mean by the power of any force that you might name to be God. Including power structures, concrete power structures that we see in nature. Concrete power structures that we see in society. Something else I wanted to say. Feeling good though. what do I want to do now? Not ready to get in the shower. Although I could. Well, let's see what this looks like. Ooh, I like this look. Cool as hell. Oh shit. See, now I gotta do my damn nails. Because this could be my orbital look. It's Friday. Oh my good golly, Miss Molly. Woo. Okay, okay. What are my other desires? Well, like, some of the things I'm trying to do. I want to sketch out. Man. I want to get people engaging with me. I don't fully want to put all that effort into it. Like, ask me about the effort at a different moment, but what do I want to end today having accomplished? That's a good question. So, I want to get the toys off of Ace's bed because there's a lot of stuff in there. I want to empty the dishwasher and empty the sink. I like to do my nails. I like to take a shower. This is going to be home at 5. I'd really like to get somewhere with my calendar, but I'm not sure what visualization I'm trying to make. So that's something that's really bothering me. Basically, I want a calendar that I can look at any point in the day or year or week and be like, based on that color and based on those symbols that I can see, and without needing to study it for even a few moments, I have the gist of where I am relative to where I want to be, like the face of a clock is. That's what I like about analog clocks. It's a pie chart. Oh, I fucking love a pie chart. It makes my brain so wet. Pie chart. I don't know. I like knowing stuff. My brain likes organization. That's a Saturn thing. And communicating things more clearly, that's a Mercury thing. So it's me and my Gemini and Capricorn energy. Look at that. All right, let's see. 10:15. Something about the numerology that's helpful is that I can take a look at the time and the numbers around me, and they can ground me in what it is that I actually am feeling and the vibes that I'm trying to name if I am having a hard time understanding why I feel distressed. Green. But the amount of seeing that I'm able to do, while it comforts me on a spiritual level, vibrates me in an unsettling fashion because the translating of what I mean, like I don't have a problem with how long it will take to get someone to understand what I see and what I understand about the universe. But the frustration I have for someone's misunderstanding me, resulting in their response as if I do not make sense. That's most frustrating because where we are and where I have always been as an expert on many things, and not least of all my experience of me, it is so terribly frustrating to be treated as if someone else's inability to grasp the complexity and entirety of a situation means something about my grasp of the situation. This is what my life has always been like, a fight to communicate with others and always feel like I was being misunderstood. And so changing my language over and over again so that I could make sure I was not misunderstood. And then after I was lauded in many relationships for everything that I did understand in all of those relationships, when I said what I could see that was unknown to those around me, they told me, "You don't know what you're talking about. You're not making any sense. You can't know what you know. You can't make that assessment, even though Making assessments of situations is how I have survived my entire life. This is how they get inside, how the doubts of other people get inside of your heart. Because there were many times I did start to trust. And then there were those of us in our relationships who betrayed it, betrayed the memory of who I was and who they had loved. Instead, I was simply the enemy, and there was no us. This is how we teach people to distrust, how we teach our children, the most vulnerable of us, when they need help, when we make them jump through hoops just to prove that their need is true, that they don't offend you because they scream at you, because that is how deeply their pain, that's how deep it hurts them. And you are not aware of how you naturally quantum entangled with me, interdependently will always be almost as pained as me when you watch me, when you see me, when you hear me, when you feel me grieve. That's what it means to exist, baby. And we have got to do the work of metabolizing so that we can do something with the power of being connected to someone, feeling them dying. If we know which way a situation is likely to go because someone we love has trauma in those areas, then we, baby, have a responsibility, if we say we love them, not to touch them like that, not to bring them back to that memory of the thing that hurt them, that is probably still hurting. I want to teach you about ethics and interdependence and how to live with the ideals that you imagine. I want to teach you how to want to be alive in a world that does nothing but ask you to survive long enough to make enough money. I want you to want more for your life than just to die or escape or numb or bliss out or black out. I want to teach you how to have hope and how to notice the way that things will go if you take this path or that road. I want to teach you awareness so that you can be your best you, your favorite you, the you you want to be at the end of your life story. Because at that point, that's when we really notice that we were the main character of our lives. But see, we have the opportunity at this point, you and me, to learn how to simply be the main character of our story long before we have to do it retrospectively. I like writing stories in present tense anyway, baby. So let's say we meet here once a week, at least, dear. And talk through what it means to be here so we can decide what needs to change and how we can actually genuinely soothe our fear. Because that's not why we're meant to be here. We're not meant to be controlled and contorted by our fear. We're meant to really, fully, completely enjoy being here, existing, dear. And I'm hoping that's something you and I can discover more of together here. I love you.